Alrighty, so we are working on the polls again. Hopefully I have it set up so that whenever I upload this right after the stream, everything's working out and the audio is fixed. The issue with the audio was that basically the streams and stuff weren't set up properly, so all you heard was music, so then I had to wait for it to process and everything. So hopefully that should be different this time. So today, like I said, we're gonna work on this guy, and I have a couple things that we're gonna change and a couple of ideas, and we'll kind of go from there. So let's just hop into the code. So right now, whenever we create the poll, it says that the name and label, and then there should be a value, I think. Oh, change value doesn't do anything, so I guess there's not a value. So what we're gonna say, and I'm kind of curious, you know what, I bet change value, let's double check what change value goes to. So we're gonna go to feed, or to our validated text input, and this probably let's see here, so we pass in change value, and then change value probably just dispatches something. So the value isn't stored here, so the value is going to be elsewhere. Okay, that's fair enough. And then, but what value do we put inside of the, let's see, input? So the value is data, and where does data come from? Let's see, data. We do not set data. So where's data come from then? So set value, data, or nothing. And I guess whenever we update, we set the value. Okay, so we don't need to deal with that. We don't need to pass in data. Data is optional. Cool. So that's fine. So what we're gonna do inside of here is for name, we're gonna put backticks. It's gonna say choice. And let me see what happens when we type in this. Okay, cool. That should be fine. Okay, so it's gonna be choice, and then space, $, curly brace, and then this is gonna be index +1. And we're gonna do the same thing with the label, and I think that should be fine. So let's double check that this looks okay. So if we go into our code, Brave, and if we type in here, everything's fine. Cool. So that is good to go. So okay, that is what we want. And let me double check this again. So whenever we click off, cool. So that's how Twitter works. So now the question is, do we bring in the poll and all of that stuff? Maybe. Maybe we do that. So let's go ahead and I guess, so I'm trying to think of how we want to do this, because whenever we click on the add poll, it's going to pop it up. Well, you know what? Actually, let's just go ahead and style this and make it look nice, and then we'll do the logic. So let's see here. So we have, oh, Twitter changed. Oh yeah, because they don't have the circle anymore. Oh no. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to do that. There's no circle anymore. I guess we can just remove it, right? It's no big deal. The replies are still there. Well, we might circle back and update that. But let's go ahead and, I guess, make this look prettier. So inside of our poll.tsx, I think we can go ahead and make a CSS, which it looks like we, let's see, where is our poll? Make a new CSS file, feed post creator, maybe poll.css, and let's go ahead and import this for if we get. So import dot slash, and then feed post creator poll.css. All right, so there is that. That should be good to go. And then now what do we want to do? Let's come in here. So first we need to set this up. So let's copy this and paste this. So this should be width 100%, I suppose. And height will be fit content. That just basically gets bigger and smaller as you add. There's no way to remove a poll, so that's cool. Maybe if you don't fill it out, it doesn't add it, but okay. And then maybe we want a border radius on this. Let's see if I can see what the border radius is on Twitter. Whoops. So let me just take a look at Twitter really quick. So I'm not seeing a border radius. Oh, 16. So we'll say border radius is 16 px, and we're going to say that the border is 1 pixels solid, and then RGBA, and it's, or actually it's just RGB, and I'm sure you probably have this RGB, and it's going to be 207, 217, 222. I think we already have this color technically. We're gonna have padding a 12 px. All right, and I don't think we need any flex or anything on this because it doesn't really do anything flex wise. So cool, that's looking better already. All right, so now let's see what to do next. So now we need the choices. So choices is going to be a flex that takes up, let me see here, choices, and then poll length. Yeah, choices, trying to think of, no, choices would be 100%, I guess, and then the height would be like fit content as well, I guess, because it's just gonna grow. So we'll say dot feed creator poll choices, width is 100%. Height will be fit content because there's going to be whatever's in there. There's going to be a border bottom on this, and it's going to be the same thing, 1 px solid RGB, and we'll say 207, 217, and then 222. And I think that's all we really need on that one too, because each individual one is going to be where they have the whatever it's called. What's up, Dominic? How's it going? Let's take a look. All right, we have the margin bottom. Although, you know what? That doesn't go all the way across. How do we want to deal with that? It's probably because of the padding, huh? I could make a div with width 100%, but I think the padding's still going to be a problem. Okay, how do we want to deal with this? I don't think you can do margin or anything like that. The only thing I can think of, which I don't think this will work either because of the padding. So we might have to move the padding. We might have to wrap the poll choices, or we might have to say padding 16 px on the poll choices instead. So let's move the padding from here. But I think they all have padding, but let's just move the padding outside of the outside, because now it goes all the way across. Now these ones are obviously scuffed, but we'll fix those. Cool, so there's that. And then from here, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we need to do the actual individual choices themselves. So we'll go ahead and grab the poll choice. So copy this. We might have to wrap these. Well, we'll see what happens. Nice. Actually, I got a new position, so no longer jobless. So yeah, super exciting. And we're gonna go ahead. We might need to wrap this one more time. So because we're gonna have let's see. So we might have to do something like this. So we might say that we have the choice wrapper. So we might say div class name feed dash post creator dash pull choice wrapper, maybe. And let's, I don't know why it didn't close the div, but okay. Close that div, and we're gonna wrap this guy. And do this. Oops, and paste that. All right, so the pull choice is still gonna have width 100% and height fit content. Whoops, fit dash content, if I could type. But this is gonna have a display of flex. It's gonna have a flex direction. We also need a flex direction, I guess, because it's gonna be column. We can space evenly, so we can say justify content space evenly, and we can also say align items in the center, and we can see what this looks like really quick. Okay, so things are a little bit scuffed, so let's go ahead and say align items flex start, actually. So let's flex start this instead. And I think that, whoops. Okay, that didn't work. Does this need to be flex start? Let's try this one. Let's flex start this one. There we go. Okay, so let's flex start. We'll align items. I don't think space between. No, we'll just say center. Now it's scuffed right now because these don't have a, these take the width or whatever. Do I want to say flex start? We'll play with it as we go. Now we need the wrapper. So feed choice creator pull wrapper or whatever. So now this will be like width of like 75% or something, and this should fix that. Okay, so it needs to be more than 75%. We do want that to be centered, so that looks pretty good. And what we'll say is let's try like 90%. That's going to be just kind of testing. 90% might be okay. It definitely needs some spacing under it, so let's go ahead and come back in here and let's just say like margin bottom like 12px. It might be a little much, but I mean the padding's 12px, so it's probably fine. Cool, so looks good. It's a little bit light, but it is what it is. And so we need to add some spacing here, and maybe we can't, I don't think we can space between though, because of okay, so let's, I guess, just do one of these. So let's come back in here and we will, let's grab this P icon, let's copy, and we'll do one of these. So that just wraps it as well, so that makes sense. And we'll say dot and this, and then we will say width is 10%. We'll say height is fit content. We'll say display flex. So display flex. We'll align items in the center, and we'll justify content in the center. And let's see what that looks like. See if that centers it. Cool, that looks good. It's not perfectly centered though. Why? I can never get these to center properly. Is it because there's a margin bottom on this? So I might say margin bottom 12px and see what happens. Margin bottom 12px, and let's try to move this up. This is kind of a jank way to do this. No, let's see. That's not gonna do it, I bet. Oh, that made it worse. What if we say 100%? Because it's got the parent already. So if we say it's 100% of the parent, that made it worse. What we put padding? Yeah, I appreciate that. Let's try padding bottom 12px. I'm gonna make a video probably. It looks better. I think I'm gonna make a video probably going over kind of like what's going on and all of that stuff. Cool. Although I just realized that this is probably going to be scuffed because we need a hover effect. Yeah, it's super good position. Super excited. So the add icon needs to be wrapped again. So what if we say this? So we'll say div class name equal to feed dash post creator pull choice add hover. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's set up the hover effect. I'm about to get the Twitter blue RGBA to get that set up. But let's go ahead and do this. I don't have any idea how big this is. Let's try width of 40px, height of 40px, and border radius of 100%. And then we'll copy the hover. So copy this and do a hover, a little bit funky. And we'll do background color, it's RGBA. And I need the Twitter blue RGBA. I have it somewhere. Let's go into our app, I believe, and we should have the Twitter blue. I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna convert it really quick. So I'm gonna say hex to RGBA or RGB converter. And let me go ahead and convert this. I have this somewhere, I just don't know where it's at. So it's gonna be RGBA 29, 161, whoops, 161, and then 242. And let's say like 0.4, and then we can kind of play with this and get it to work. Also, we're gonna need this RGB, so I'm just gonna copy this RGB and be lazy because we need this RGB on this. Whoops. So SX equal to, and we'll say color is colon and pass in that RGB, except it's just gonna be RGB no A, so it'll just be that blue color. And I don't know if we need to do anything else. We might need to make it slightly bigger. I can see how big it is, maybe. So let me just take a look. So it says 20 by 20, and the outer one is 34 by 34. So it's probably a little bit big, but let's see. Okay, now it's scuffed. So that's because we need to go ahead and go into our hover, and we'll say, for one, this should be 40px. So that really threw a bunch of stuff off. Let's take a look again. Okay, yep. And now we need to add the display and everything like that. So display, flex, align item, center, whoops, center, and justify content center. Save that. And let's take a look now. Okay, it's back to the center. Okay, it's a little bit, definitely a little bit big. I feel like it needs a little bit more space to the right. Well, actually, let's go ahead and change it back to 34 by 34 and see if it still looks big, and go from there. So let's take a look now. It's definitely, it looks good. It's just a little bit dark now. So let's go ahead and make it a little less dark. So let's go and come back in here and let's go ahead and say like 0.2 maybe, and 0.2 might look a little bit better. Cool, that looks good. And let's go ahead and add cursor pointer. So cursor pointer, save that. And cool. So now we need to add an on click. We'll probably just add the on click here. So on click on this guy will be add new choice, maybe. And we need to make this add new choice. And now this is the part where maybe we go ahead and create a poll that has some stuff and choices and whatnot, and then maybe put it into the post slice. Should probably be a poll slice, but let's just go ahead and say const add new choice, and we'll do this. And I don't think it needs anything. So what we could do, and see, I think we should probably add to the poll. We probably add to the slice. But let's just make this work. We'll say if our choices.size, or I guess its length, is less than 4, we'll say I guess we'll say what do we want to do here? We need to get the choices. We'll say let choice list equal to choices. This might break everything. Choices dot push, and we'll push a backticks choice, and then we'll say $ curly brace, and we'll say choices dot length +1, and then otherwise we won't do anything. And then we'll also say set choices, I guess. Set choices, and then we'll pass in the choice list. Whoops, this should be choice list dot push. Then honestly, this might break. But let's see if this wants to work or not. So let's hop back into our application. So if we click this button, nothing happens. Let's inspect the console. Let me guess, there's an error. Div cannot appear as an ascendant of P. Okay, well that's something. Now it worked. So why does it not work now? Let's console.log. Let's see. So console.log. We need to fix that other issue. Add new. We'll say add new choice. All right, let's test this. Oh, now the 4th choice pops up. Add new choice. Add new choice. Now let's actually do this. We'll say console.log add new choice. We'll put it inside the if statement to make sure that it's working. We might need to set up a use effect, I guess, to watch for the choices changing, I suppose. That's probably what we want to do. Because yeah, now it's there. So we click on this, click on add new choice, and now it doesn't do anything. So I think what we do is we add a use effect in there. So we'll say use effect, and we'll watch choices, and then we'll just do this and import that. So anytime it updates, hopefully it works. Choice 3, choice 4 is still not working. Maybe we say choices.length whenever choices.length changes. Refresh again. Choice 3. Choice 4 is still not popping up. Wonder why choice 4 is not working. Let's fix this issue. The div cannot be whatever. And then we'll go from there. So let's come back into, yo, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate you. Let's come back in here. So the key is choice. Choice should be choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. So there shouldn't be multiple. Let's fix this. So we'll go ahead and do this. How do we want to do this? I guess this is going to just be a div, and this will be a div, and that'll fix that one error. Okay. So now all the choices are there now, but we click choice. Why? Let's console.log. Console.log. We'll say adding a new choice. Whoops. Yeah, we might just set up a a dispatch and everything for this. So let's refresh. So click this, adding a new choice, click this. So it didn't actually push. Interesting. Even though it says add new choice, choices.length never actually changed. But I bet if we do something in here, like delete this, right, updates, whoops. Yes. Okay, interesting. Why is, you know what we can do instead? We'll say set choices. And we'll say to an array dot choices, comma, backticks, and we'll say choice $, whoops, $, curly brace, choices dot length +1. That should be fun, right? Because right now choices is size 2. And we only want to do that if there's less than 4 in there. What about now? Add the choice. Boom, there we go. Cool. So that is working. We might take the padding off the, well, I don't know why there's so much space there. Because there shouldn't be padding or anything, but it is what it is. We'll deal with that later. So choices are there. Maybe we, instead of calling these choices, maybe what we do is, because these ones say optional on them whenever you add them. Also, this goes away if there's 4, so let's also go ahead and do that, and then it goes to full length. Oh, this is gonna be a pain. Oh no. So we're gonna say choice wrapper, because this is gonna be index choices.length -1, and index is less than, actually, and the choices.length is less than 4, basically, because we don't want it to show up. And now the problem is that we want to go all the way across. So then we basically need to be like, okay, so we need to have a custom class on here, like so. And we'll say something like choices.length less than 3, question mark. If it's less than, actually be less than 4. If it's less than 4, we'll have this. Maybe we say wrapper dash, maybe we'll say wrapper dash, what do I want to call this? We'll say min or something, and then we'll say max for the other one. So it'll just either be min size or max size. So this will be max. And what we'll do is we'll save this and we'll go into here, and our choice wrapper dash min is this, and we'll copy this, and our max will just be 100% basically. So max will be 100%, right? So there we go. So now it acts like Twitter. Cool. So that's good to go. Now, obviously, if we type in these, we want this to be better. So I'm going to actually rename this from choices to labels and set labels. And then whenever we change the values in these, we'll do other things. So this is choice 1. We'll say labels.length. Whoops, I gotta spell labels right. Labels.length less than 4. set labels, and then this will be dot 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 labels in labels dot length. And something else that it says on Twitter is it has this, then it says optional, and that stays there. Cool. Set labels, I spelled labels wrong. Something else, it has to be less than 25. So is there a way? I think there's a way to add in the length, right? Let me double check the validated text input. So we have attributes. Yeah, so we can put max length in the attributes, and it's 25. So if we come in here inside of our validated text, we should be able to say attributes is equal to, then we have to pass it in objects, and we can say max length, and then we can say 25, I believe, and save. Now we gotta fix all these labels. So let's fix all these labels. All right, that's fixed. So now if we come back in here, ooh. So y is, let's see. If index is equal to labels.length and labels.length is less than 4. That should be true, right? Because labels.length is 2. Do we have to wrap these? Let's try this. No. Okay, so I guess we're going to debug this. I still don't know why this says we don't have a key that's not. This should be label. This should be label. Those are strings. That should fix that issue. And it fixed all the issues. Okay. Next. Okay, out of 25. Now these don't say optional. So why do these not say optional? So we'll set labels to choice labels.length plus 1 optional. So why did optional not show up there? Refresh. So this should be, oh, you know what? Because this should be label. We should keep this as label. Since now we're doing it like that. So we'll say instead of this, we'll change this back to label. And then whenever we change the value, we will have the name, which we can, how do we want to do this? Can name just be, I wonder if I can say name is like $, curly brace, so choice colon $, curly brace index, or does that break the label? Let's check the label. No, okay, that's fine. Do this, do that. Cool. All right, so now we can know which value that we're changing, basically, and that's going to be important for doing the updating. I think we're good to go on this now. We'll deal with doing the other stuff later. I kind of just want to make it look pretty today. So I think that's good for this part. We need to do the validated text input. Style, I think, is optional or never use it. But the drop down we need to fix, right? So, and we'll also need to deal with the dispatcher. So I guess inside of our feed utils, we'll say export const, and we'll say how do we want to do this? So this needs to return an array of JSX elements. So we'll say generate poll days, selector or selections, I guess. And this will just be an arrow function. And I need to look at how we did the dates. So let's go ahead and take a look at our global interfaces, or global date utils maybe. So yeah, this just returns months.map, and they are options. So we need to return options basically. So we will go ahead, and the total length of days is 0 through 7. So basically just gonna say let our options be a JSX dot elements array equal to this. We'll just say for int I equal to 0. Whoops, 0. I is less than equal to 7. And this is not Java. I've been developing Java. And I++. And then all we'll say is options.push. And these ones are going to be like dead simple. We're going to push an option. And I'm going to have to go ahead and take a look at how we did this again. So option with the value of index and key equal to the month. We're not going to do that. We're just going to say, although this just gets it, this doesn't actually return it, but how does this return? Oh, it's because we're mapping through, it's going to return. Okay, I see what's going on. I'm just going to copy this and we're going to paste it. So this will be I, the key will be I, and then we'll just say I. And we're going to do this for the other one. So hours. So generate hour, pull hours selections, and hours is 0 to 23. So 23. And then we'll copy and paste again. This will be minutes. So minutes selections. And this will be 59 minutes. Save that. Let's go ahead and try to bring these in. So drop down will be generate poll days selections. Ooh, it does not like that. Void is not. Oh, let's go ahead and fix that. This will return an element. Oh, I never returned it. JSX.elements. We'll also go ahead and do this. Copy and paste and paste. Might want to actually return these to return options. What's your problem? Oh, it should be an array. My bad. Make these arrays. I have no idea how I'm going to edit this up. We'll figure it out. Make that and do that. Fix that. And still doesn't like it. What is your problem? Element array does not provide a match or signature array. It looks like it does. Drop down colon JSX.element array. What does this do? That's exactly what we got, right? It looks the same. Date util. Export const. We're exporting it, right? Export const equal to JSX array. It looks the same. Get days colon JSX.element array. JSX.element array. And it's returning. Type element array is not assigned with type. It wants a function though. Oh, you know what? There we go. I'm just stupid. Fix that. Copy that. Paste this. This will be hours. And import hours. And then this will be minutes. Copy this. This will be minutes. Hopefully this works. And let's go ahead and import minutes. Okay. Hopefully. Oh, we got a whole bunch of errors. Let me refresh. I love it. We need to curly brace these. We're gonna date utils, feed utils. Let's curly brace all these. There should probably be a match for not being able to allow 0 minute, 0 day, 0 whatever. But I don't know if I'm gonna do all that. So if I refresh Twitter, I know you guys can't see this. Let me double check that this is what it looks like. So we click on this. Oh, that's GIFs. So this starts out at 1 by default. So we need to set the default value of this to 1. I think I can do that by can't set the value in here. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to, so for days, I'm going to have to skip. We're going to say if I not equal to 1, we're going to options.push. And we're going to options.push above this. And we're going to push 1, 1, and 1, which is really stupid that we got to do it this way. But it should start out with 1 now. So 1, although it still starts at 0, shoot. We don't have a way. Let me go ahead and take a look at this. Do we have a way of setting the value by default? So it's value is equal to data. Are we just not passing data? So we can pass data. What if we pass data here? Data equal to and 1. Although that's not going to work, huh? Because now, well, I might want to pass to the correct one. So I think that we're going to have to pass this dynamically via the dispatcher. Now, yeah, we can't change to 2. We need to actually pass this. So so data is we're gonna need to set up some form of setting these up. So what do we want to do here? Because we need to keep track of the poll text and all that. And the best case scenario probably is going to be to... So let's do this. Let's deal with the data later. Like I said, I just want to do the styling and whatnot right now. So let's just do the styling and everything. We got about 45 minutes here. And then whenever we get back on Tuesday, we'll start working on the logic by doing the... whatever it's called. I can't think right now. The slice and all of that stuff. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start working on this feed post creator poll length. So let's go ahead and copy this and go into the CSS, wherever our CSS went. So we can close out feed utils and we'll say dot this and we'll say width 100%. The height will just be fit content, fit dash content. We're gonna need to wrap the other thing in a wrapper. We're gonna say padding on this guy's 12px. We're gonna have a border bottom. So let's grab the border bottom and copy and paste it. I'm not gonna put the flex on this. So if we take a look, okay, doesn't look any different, but we got a little bit of spacing and everything. So let's go ahead and copy this guy. So feed post creator link text, and dot this pull text. Why is it pull? Oh, it's because, okay, I'm stupid. So let's take a look. I'm gonna see how big this text is just to see. So it's font size 15px, so font, let's say margin 0 though, and padding 0 because there's things that are scuffing all this. So this should help it out a little bit if we take a look. Cool. It looks like, no, it is lined up perfectly, so that's fine. We're gonna say font size 15px. It's gonna have a font weight, so font weight, it's pretty skinny, we'll say 400. And then font color is gonna be like whatever, whoops, it's not font color, it's just color. So color is gonna be whatever color our normal text is. I could probably come in here, this useless thing here, we could probably say like gray. I'm guessing it's either gray or dark gray. Let's try the dark gray color. This theme didn't end up being that useful. Whoops. Let's see if that's the right color. It should be the same color as like other text. Yeah, looks right. Okay, we need a little bit of padding, a little bit of margin on the bottom of this. So we'll go ahead and add a margin. Whoops. Margin bottom of maybe like 8 pixels or something. It's not very much. If we take a look, that looks pretty good overall, I think. So now we're gonna wrap these components together. So let's go ahead and do that. This is still scuffed. Probably the padding and everything. I'm doing pretty well. How you doing on that? So we'll go in here. And what do we want to do? We want to wrap this in a div. So class name, we'll say equal to feed dash post creator dash pull length wrapper maybe. And we'll wrap all these validated date selectors together. So let's do that. So we'll wrap these together. And this will be like with 100%. So let's copy this. And we will do here with 100%. Height will be fit content. We'll have our display flex. Oh no, I might have to, we'll say space evenly here. So we'll say justify content space evenly, and we'll have an align items center. Now, this might break things, or it just works. Okay, we want a row gap of, or actually we want column gap, not row gap. Let's do a column gap of like 12px. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay, I think that worked out fairly well. That was actually very simple, so that's cool. And then finally, what we need to do is we need to do this bottom part. So the bottom part is about 52 pixels tall, and it just centers everything. It says remove pull. So let's go ahead and do the bottom text. So we'll say feed post creator pull button, copy this, and we will do this dot this. And what we'll do is we'll say obviously width 100%, height is 52px. We're gonna say justify content. We'll say display flex first. So to display flex, if I could type flex, we'll say justify content in the center, align items in the center, and what else will we do? We'll do all that, and we need to hover on this. Well, let's actually say color is a red color. I don't know what color of red this is. Can we find this? So it's F2, I can't read that. F4 21 2E. It's like a red. There we go. And then font size is 15px. And then I'm guessing the font weight is going to be like 400 or something. Okay, let's take a look. Cool. Now we need a hover effect. So let's go ahead and copy this. Hover. And the hover, let's see what the hover does. Let me take a peek. So hover just turns the inside red. So hover will just have cursor pointer. So cursor pointer and background color. I'm gonna go ahead and convert this to a RGB really quick. So it's RGBA. RGB will say A, and we'll say like 0.2 as well. So 0.2. Save that. And let's take a peek what this looks like now. Okay, we need border radius. Border. Can we do a border? Can we do a border radius? Border bottom. We can. Border bottom left radius 12px. Border bottom right radius 12px. Let's try this. Whoops. It's not quite right. Let's try 11. You know what? What if we say overflow hidden? Overflow. What if we do that? Nope. Okay, it doesn't work. Darn. Okay. Let's try 11, I guess. Still overflowing. What if I set these? Well. Still overflowing. 10. Nothing's working. Huh. Maybe we need to add this to 10. It needs to go the opposite way. Let's try 13. $14 maybe? We're getting closer. There, I think that's about right. Let's try like 15. Just a lot of trial and error here. There, I think I can live with that. Now, I don't think we can do a remove. But whenever we click remove, it would basically remove the, whatever it's called, the poll, and move from there. So, what we need to do is, we need to take a look at our Java code basically, and set up a new interface for our whatever it's called. So for our poll, which has a poll ID, choices, and some other things, and then our choices. Let me look at our choices. So go into my, you guys can't see this, but I'm just looking at my Java code. Poll choice, I did have it open. The poll choice is the ID of the poll, which we don't even know because we haven't submitted the ID. And I think that we just ignore it anyway. So what we could do is we could come in here, and I think I just have all these in like global interfaces, right? So we'll say export interface poll choice, and poll choice will just have, let's see here. Do we even need a count? We can do, well, I guess it's going to return everything. So we'll just say that poll choice we'll have a poll choice ID, which is a number. I can type poll choice ID is a number. We'll have our JSON ignores the poll anyway, so we're not going to add the poll. We're going to say choice text is a string, and then we'll say votes is a, do we call it application user? We just call it user. Theme color, validate, we just called it user. So this is a user array. And then we have our, export interface poll. Our poll is going to have a poll ID. Poll ID, which is a number. It's going to have a end time, which is, this is a local date time. I don't know if JavaScript has date time. I'd have to look. So let me look real quick. It might just be a date, and we can format the way that okay, so it looks like it just has date time. That's fine. All right, whatever. So in time will just be a date. And this we're going to have to modify or create whenever we send it based on the date and everything that gets passed in, or the minutes, hours, seconds, whatever, days, minutes, hours. And then we need a choices array. So we'll say choices is a poll choice array. Okay, that should be good to go. Let's go ahead and just create the slice really quick. And I don't know how this is going to affect us, but we'll go ahead and say post slice. And we'll go ahead. Oh, you know what? This goes on the post itself. So that means that we need to go ahead and go into our post. And this is going to break everything. So that's going to be fun. So we're going to go into our global interfaces, go into our post. And under images, I guess, we'll say poll, and save. And this is going to create this is going to break literally everything. So post, and we'll have to figure out how to deal with this. So let's first do the slice, and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's see here. So p post, initialize current post. So here we don't even have this. Well, I guess we don't need to really change anything, huh? So we can just go under our images and say poll is an object. Actually, let's go into the post and we'll say poll is optional, because it is optional. We'll go into our interfaces, poll, question mark, poll, because it's not an array or anything. It's an object with a list of choices. So we'll go ahead and make it optional. So that, I guess, fixes some things. So yeah, so now what we can do is inside of our post slice, we can go ahead and do a synchronous reducer. We can say create poll, and we'll say state an action. This will just create it with empty stuff, so it's not going to really have an action. It's just going to go ahead and do this. So we'll say let poll colon poll. Well, actually, let's say let choices equal to a poll choice array, I guess. And let's go ahead and import poll choice. So this is generating a poll, and this will equal to an empty array. Equal to an empty array. And then we'll say choices dot push. and we need to push a poll choice object, which our poll choice object has a poll choice ID. So poll choice ID, we'll just put 0 because it's going to generate for us. It has a choice text, which would just be empty, I guess. I don't know how else we're going to do this. And then it has votes, which will also be empty, right? And I guess we could just push both of these. So what if we said, instead of pushing 2 of these, we'll just do this, and we'll delete this. I think this is legal. Will we say this is equal to this? And although that doesn't look like it's legal like it is in Java. Choices is declared but never read. Okay, so my brain is thinking Java. Let's try this. Is this legal? This is legal. So we'll do this equal to, and we'll do this. Clean this up. Whoops. So basically put these 2 in here. And if I could figure out how to use the Redux dev tools for this, that'd be great, but whatever, it's fine. So there's that. So we'll go ahead and create the choices, and then we will say, then we'll go ahead and say, let poll equal to a new object, and this will be poll ID, which will just be 0, and the end date, right? So poll has the poll ID. Then we have, dang it, I messed up again, end time, which will just be a new date for now, and we will modify it. And then we have our choices. So choices will be just choices, basically. So then we can go ahead and say state is equal to ... state, and then we'll say current post, right? Because we just have inside of here, we just have let's see, our post slice state just says loading current post post images. Yep. So we're just gonna go ahead and say that our current post, so we need to go ahead and say let post p, or let post equal to, and we're gonna go ahead and say json.stringify, or json.parse json.stringify. We're gonna pass in state.currentPost because I don't want it to break. We're gonna say post.poll is equal to poll, or actually we could also say post is equal to ... post comma poll colon, like that. And we can say current post is equal to post, and then we can return the post. I think that should create this. We don't need an action. Now why is this broken? Where is this broken at? Let's see, components, feed post creator image, image has any type. Okay, who cares? I guess let's fix this. I don't know why this matters. I don't know why you were broken all of a sudden, but okay. Anyway, so now we should be able to also go ahead and export this. So let's export create poll. So now what will happen is, really quick, let's just go ahead and make it so we can pop up the poll, and then we'll modify it and stuff. So inside of our feed post creator, what's gonna happen is, let's go ahead and say something like const generate poll. So here, const generate poll equal to, and we'll go ahead and say dispatch, and we will dispatch create poll. like so. We should just be able to do that. Although it wants us to pass an action. Let's go ahead and go back into post slice. Can we just skip action? Does that work for this? Let's just skip action here. Where's it going to complain? Okay, so we'll dispatch create poll, and we will watch for create poll to change. It should only change once. I mean, technically it'll change more than once, but after that it shouldn't continue like doing this. And then what is post content? So post content, is that the post itself? So post content is nothing. So let's go ahead and let's console.log inside of our use effect. So console.log instead of post content, we'll say state.post.current post.poll. So if the poll gets set, let's go ahead and console.log the poll. And what we're gonna do is down here under create feed post creator poll, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this like so, and we're gonna say state.post.current post.poll. And so if there's a post, we'll go ahead, if there's a poll attached to our post, we'll go ahead and pop it up. So now this should be gone. This should also, I guess, just absolutely destroy everything. Cannot read, no undefined of poll. So state.post.current post.images. Why is the images broken? What? Console poll feed post creator poll. I think you're on crack. Why would that part be broken? State.post.current post.poll. We added poll to the poll to post, right? Global interfaces, poll question mark. Okay. So why does it say it's breaking here on feed post creator images? We didn't touch that, did we? We messed with the poll. Yeah, we never touched that. So why is that broken? I bet it's because current post is undefined. Is it because current post is undefined? Let's see if that's it. Console is still complaining about undefined. What if we do this? Because current post is technically undefined. Still broken. Did I spell something incorrectly? Poll. Well, this should be not create poll. This should be state dot post dot current post dot poll for 1. Huh. What if we had a question mark? Nope. Still broken. Although it's not broken as much. Okay, now it's just broken because of this, so question mark this. Please. Okay. Didn't do anything. Console, just hit undefined. Refresh again. Do this. Undefined. You know what? We never actually called generate poll. So whenever we hit the poll SVG, we're gonna say on click is equal to generate poll. Gotta remember to actually call stuff. Let's refresh again. Undefined is not valid JSON. So the post isn't created yet, maybe? Okay. Non-serializable. I don't. Oh shoot, we can't put that in there. We'll have to fix that. I don't know why it's saying that. Cannot read property undefined of length. I think it's on crack. Because there's not a dot length there. Cannot read undefined length. And it says it's in this. It's gotta be... I have no idea where that would even be, because there's no length property even in here. The only length property we have is this. It's because we don't have a post. But this one, I don't know why this crashes. It says 195.1. And it's in the text area. There's no length in the text area, so I don't know what the deal is. But we're going to have to wrap up very soon. So hopefully... So whenever we click on the poll, is it because we don't have any current post images? But that should always be set to 0. That shouldn't be the issue. And it says it's at line. So generate poll, dispatch, create poll, post slice. Let's see what happens whenever we comment out this stuff. You know what? A typo. This returns state. That break everything? It did. Okay. Now we do need to deal with the fact that whenever you click on this, there's no... We go into console, it says it's not valid, but if we hit this, it's probably fine. We need to check. How are we gonna deal with that? Because that's an interesting bug that we're gonna have to deal with a different day. Because we can't like trigger 2 of them, and it's going to be like basically asynchronous, because I don't think we can do this. So if we go into our feed post creator, I don't think we can say like generate poll. I don't think we can say like if state dot post dot current post if not equal to null, or actually, excuse me, undefined. I don't think we can dispatch. I don't even know what it's called. What's it called? Generate post or something? Activate, set activate, dispatch, initialize post. I don't know if we can't just call activate either because it takes in a. So I wish I could just do this, just call activate. We can't because it takes in a mouse event. What we could do is take in an E here. React.mouse event. That's an E. Mouse event, element mouse event, HTML, still a div element. See, I don't think this is going to go in the right order. The state's not going to be updated and everything else like that. I don't think this is going to work. Maybe it will. Yeah, see, it's not fast enough. So when we generate a poll, we're going to have to check to see here. The thing is, yeah, so we'll have to figure out that. Let me go into GitHub real quick. I'm going to update my project. That way I know what we need to work on next week. Let's see here. So we styled the poll. We're able to type in. We can add choice. We can update the poll length. We need to be able to generate a poll when the post is not yet generated. We're going to call like a callback function or something here. I'm not sure we're going to do there yet. And we also need to update the poll when the user types. And then types into the choices. And then we also need to calculate the date and time to end the poll when it's submitted. All right, I'm going to update the comment. All right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and push this code up. I'm going to go ahead and close out this. And that's going to be it for this stream. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all who watched. And I'll see you in the next one. And then I'll see you also in the next video.